Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker broke all the rules when it came to their iconic wedding celebration in Portofino. This wedding was such a fresh and alternative take, but with so many super meaningful hidden details that bring it all together. This is one that I definitely think we can take a lot from. So if you're looking to have an alternative touch to your own wedding day, you are in the right place because we're about to break it all down. Welcome back, my loves, to the Curated Wedding. I'm Nasli. I run Offly Place, an award-winning wedding and events venue where we have hosted hundreds of beautiful wedding days. I've also recently gotten married myself, so I'll be unveiling all my insider secrets and top tips from both sides of the aisle so that we can discuss the art of a curated wedding. So if you're interested, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell to be notified of my weekly wedding tips so you do not miss a thing. Now, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker had several different wedding celebrations. Their first was called a practice one in Las Vegas with an Elvis impersonator, of course. The second was a gorgeous, super intimate courthouse one where only Travis's father and Kourtney's grandmother MJ were present as their witnesses. And the third, final celebration was this bigger, more elaborate wedding in L'Olivetta Villa, which is owned by Dolce & Gabbana, which is the one we are looking at today, because there are so many incredible touches in it that you can take for your own wedding. Now let's get into it. Number one is a classical dress with a twist. Original, unconventional bridal looks always end up being the most memorable, and Kourtney Kardashian's dress would definitely be in that camp. The bride wore a one-of-a-kind Dolce & Gabbana Alta Moda lace and satin corset mini dress. The inspiration behind the dress was Italian 1960s lingerie. All the elements of this dress, the corset, the lace, and the satin, are all really symbolic of very classical bridal fashion. However, incorporating all these traditional elements in a mini dress adds an unexpected and fresh twist, which gives the look this modern edge. This just goes to show that if you're looking for a bridal style that's really different, sometimes it starts with the classical elements before you add in your fresh take that will make all the difference. Wearing a mini dress to your wedding day is such a fun and flirty choice, and one that I see more and more brides getting comfortable with when it comes to a courthouse wedding. I did the same myself, or even an outfit change for the evening of your wedding celebration. But it still feels like a really bold and daring move to wear a mini dress to your larger wedding celebration. Perhaps because there's still quite a lot of tradition and conventional elements at play when it comes to a wedding. However, if you love this look, I'd really like to encourage you to go for it. Lots of brides feel more comfortable in a wedding mini dress as it still feels very special and elegant, but perhaps more aligned with the sorts of dresses that they're used to wearing. If long dresses just aren't your thing, this is 100% one that you should consider. You'll be really comfortable and you can dance the night away. It's also perfect for showing off your wedding shoes. I've said this one before, but brides spend so long considering what pair of shoes when it comes to their dress. And let's be honest, when we're talking about the longer dresses, you hardly see them. The mini dresses offer an amazing alternative to really show off your bridal shoes. Pulling inspiration from lingerie is also a little unconventional when it comes to bridal wear, but when it comes to your wedding dress, this is your moment of self-expression. If you're designing a bespoke dress with a designer directly, this is of course much simpler, but if that isn't an option for you, keep in mind that your wedding dress needs to reflect you, and you need to feel yourself in it. Spend some time thinking of what kind of things you feel you're best in and how you would like to feel on your wedding day. I think this is a really good and solid starting point and the best mindset when it comes to looking for your dress. Number two is statement veils. Now, I don't think we could get through a video on Kourtney Kardashian's wedding and not talk about her gorgeous statement veil. This dramatic cathedral-length veil was cross-stitch embroidered with the Virgin Mary and the words family, loyalty, respect, amongst other things. This is a tribute to the tattoo that Travis Barker has on his head. This holds such a special meaning as it's inspired by her husband's tattoos, and for them it creates a symbol of alliance and devotion. It's a detail that you might miss, but it has all the significance. Now, I love a statement veil and how it's grown to be more popular. Traditionally, veils were considered a really simple accessory, often plain in design or quite reserved, taking a backseat to the grandeur of the wedding dress. However, contemporary bridal styling is showing veils in a completely new light, turning them into these intricate works of art, an expression of personal style, as this one really is. Detailed veils adorned with delicate lace, intricate beading, and ornate embroidery are now stealing the spotlight, becoming a key element when it comes to bridal looks, and I, for one, am here for it. I definitely find that it's easier for brides to be braver with design choices when it comes to their veil, as it is ultimately a detachable element, so you can wear it for as long as you want on the wedding day, and the moment you choose to take it off, you'll have a different look. So you can really afford to be a little bit more brave and bold when it comes to the design of your veil. With regards to veil embroidery, this is definitely something that you can take from this wedding and a look that you can recreate in your own way with elements that are really meaningful to you. The possibilities are, of course, endless. You can have your initials, personalized symbols, or even images that hold special meanings to you both. If you or your partner have any tattoos, like Travis Barker, this might be a really special place to draw inspiration from. These embroidered elements will show a unique expression of your love story, adding such a personalized touch to your bridal look for the big day itself. I chose to have embroidery on the bottom of my wedding veil, and it meant so much to me. I had the words always and forever, which was taken from my husband's proposal card that he'd written to me, next to a butterfly to signify my mother, because that's what her name means in Persian. It was a detail that was just so special to me, so special to us both. But what I really want to get across to you is that when it comes to embroidered details, this is something that you are doing for yourselves. It is not for your guests. And I'm saying this because it's very, very likely that your guests won't even notice at all. I don't mean to burst your bubble, truly, but embroidery is usually quite delicate and your guests will be so overwhelmed in seeing you as a bride that they probably won't take in all the small intricacies of your outfit that you spent so long thinking about. Even if you go all out and have a heavily embroidered piece like Kourtney Kardashian to create a truly statement veil, your guests still most likely won't take in all the details and significance in the same way as you will. Now, this isn't a bad thing. It's actually quite nice to have part of your special day that is just for you, and it means that you can truly choose to include anything at all that you'd like in your design without the added pressure of what anyone else will think. There are incredible embroidery artists that you can work with, and there are really so many options, so you can find something that you love. When it comes to your veil and embroidery, they truly are a match made in heaven, so this is not one to overlook. Vibrant food stations. When it comes to food, this is a big one for the guests, as this is one of the key elements that they will remember when they think back on your wedding day. So you want to make sure that the food is handled really well, but that doesn't mean that you can't still have some fun with it. Kourtney and Travis chose to have interactive food stations with Italian food, reflecting the location that they were in, of course. There was a pasta bar and even a cannoli station made to order cannoli with different cream fillings. My God, now that is my dream come true. All of this was served on vibrant crockery, adding this influx of character, but it should be much simpler to cater for them in this way. Additionally, you won't have to ask all your guests for menu choices, which, let me tell you, is one of the most painful and hardest parts of planning a wedding, as some guests seem to change their mind and their dietary restrictions as soon as they respond. So if you can sidestep that whole ordeal, you will be thankful for it. Vibrant crockery is also a really fun infusion into the day, and it's a simple way to elevate the look and feel of classic dishes. If you don't want to go too wild on the meal choices, swapping the crockery to something more colourful and creative will go a really long way to making the meal feel really fresh and fun. You can either speak to your catering company about different crockery options, or if you'd like to make it even more quirky, you can start collecting different pieces yourselves to create this vibrant mix and match selection to brighten your whole day. Invitations. This is one element that I am so excited to share with you because Kourtney and Travis's invitations were really different and so beautiful, and the invitations themselves led to the design style for several other key elements of their day. Travis really wanted celebrity tattoo artist Dr. Wu to design their invitations. Their brief was simple, cool, with a touch of fairy tale, and they gave him some old prayer cards that they'd collected as inspiration. What Dr. Wu created for them totally aligned with the brief to present this gorgeous, elegant, alternative fairy tale invitation with the couple's very own logo of a sacred heart. The couple said that they fell in love with it and they knew that they wanted the design featured throughout their entire wedding experience. The reason I love this was because inspiration can really come to you from anywhere. Stationery isn't usually on the top of the planning list, and although there may be several suggestions about an order in which you should plan your wedding or what specific step leads to the next, this just goes to show that sometimes the element that brings it all together is one of the smaller details that you may not have even expected. Now, I love stationery. I've always been a big stationery girl, and I think it can play such an important part in your wedding design. Like in this one, your invitations will set the tone for your day and give your guests a little taste of what's to come. Once you're really happy with the design for this, you can then echo that same look in your menu cards on the table, your welcome sign, your table plan, or any other details. It just gives you that continuity in a really elegant and subtle way. Working with a tattoo artist is also a completely different idea. So if there are creatives that you're drawn towards that aren't necessarily traditional wedding stationers, perhaps they're illustrators, caricaturists, or any other type of artist, don't feel that you can't reach out to them to inquire about a bespoke collaboration for your wedding stationery. It really could be that one element that makes all the difference to the design of your whole day. Personalized gift for your guests. This is a bit of a follow-on from the previous element, but it's a really lovely one nonetheless, as I know wedding favors and gifts for your wedding guests is a really big question that everyone has. Kourtney and Travis chose to leave their guests a gift in their hotel room. They really wanted something special that their guests could take home, use forever, and remember the wedding day. So they decided to have their Sacred Heart logo, which was created on their wedding invitations by Dr. Wu, etched into a pair of baccarat glasses. Gifts for your guests are usually a difficult one to do well, but I think that these personalized glasses are really perfect for keeping the memory of the wedding in a really subtle yet elegant way, but in a form that will be cherished and used by your guests. Now, it doesn't have to be glassware in particular, but a practical and personal gift is usually the best way to go when it comes to these things. For our wedding, we chose to have long tapered dinner candles with a message hand painted on each of them for all of our guests. And it was a gift that we know that they will use, but it's also still really personal to our day. And I've also seen other alternatives, really gorgeous engraved trinket boxes or matchboxes too with beautiful personal designs. When it came to closer family members, we opted for engraved Jo Malone perfume bottles and whiskey bottles, which went down really well. And for my bridesmaids, I put together several smaller gifts in a personalized cosmetics bag. If you'd like to see more about the gifts from my own wedding, the gifts that we gave to everyone in our party, let me know in the comments down below, because it's something that we put so much thought into, and it's something that I was actually really happy with. Of course, edible and drinkable favors are always going to go down well too, and are a super safe bet. The only difference is that they can't be kept by your guests. So if you want your guests to have something personal that they might be able to keep for a little bit longer, I'd suggest thinking about some of the gifts that we've explored, and let me know if you'd like a couple more ideas in that same light. Little details like this really make your guests feel special. So if you're able to spend a little time and organize something, at least for a few who mean a lot to you, I promise it will be really appreciated. And finally, matching leather jackets. As the evening gets a little cooler in Portofino, Kourtney and Travis decided to end the day in matching white leather jackets with Mr. Barker and Mrs. Barker hand painted on the back, also by the incredibly talented Dr. Wu. You can really get a sense of how much his designs inspired so many elements of this iconic wedding. Now, matching leather jackets may not be for everyone, but it's a fun detail that I really liked, and if it's your kind of thing, now is the time to get it organized so that you have it ready to get out at the end of the evening. It doesn't have to be a leather jacket necessarily. I've also seen really fun denim jackets in various colours if you're more interested in that sort of look. You can also choose to include different personalizations such as a monogram, the date of your wedding, any symbols or images that are important to you. The options for personalization are really endless. These jackets add a contemporary twist to a traditional wedding with a touch of edgy sophistication to your whole look. As much as this is a bit of fun, I do think that they make a bold and memorable statement that really symbolises the couple's unity and their start of their journey together. Of course, it is the perfect keepsake for your special day as well. All of the elements we've explored come together to create this fresh, alternative wedding aesthetic that really focuses on the details, personalized elements, and the guest experience. Remember, the key is to take the elements that you love and tailor them to reflect you and the style of your love story. This is something that I think Kourtney and Travis got really right as their wedding threw out all tradition in favor of a celebration that was unapologetically them. And that really is the most important part. If you're planning on trying any of these ideas, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. And give this video a like if it was helpful. It would mean so much to me. In the meantime, you can catch me over on Instagram at the.curated.wedding, where I'm always posting fresh inspiration and tips, so you won't want to miss it. And I'll be back next week with another video. See you next time, and happy planning.